My question is, this week, I was watching The Greenlight Project, which is a show that is produced by Ben Affleck.
Is that Matt Damon?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I heard about it.
Well, this week he said that he believes, when it comes to diversity in film, that he believes that starts in the casting process and not with the producers or directors. I just want to get your opinion on what you feel about diversity in film, and where do you believe that starts? Do you agree that it starts with just the casting?
It starts with the writer. That's why I say write your own stories. You know, we have to write our own stories. It's easy sometimes to say race, but a lot of times it's culture. We have to write about what we know. To ask someone else, it's like someone asked me, I said, well, I guess Steven Spielberg could have directed Goodfellas, and maybe what's his name? Scorsese could have directed Schindler's List. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's a culture. I mean, you write about what you know first. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm trying to say?
I just want to bring up something. I just would want to urge people to think about whoever this director is, the way that they're going to treat the character of Harmony, her being a prostitute, the only black person being a hooker who gets hit by her white pimp. You looking at this group right here and who you're picking and the story that you're doing. And I just want to make sure that we're doing our best foot forward.
I will say that the only team that's left with diversity is the team that announced that they like this script the most as it is. And that's Leo and Kristen. Everyone else had major problems with it. And with exactly the things that you're bringing up and exactly the things that we brought up to each other. So I think on the surface, they look like one thing, but they might end up giving us something that we don't want. And when we're talking about diversity, you do it in the casting of the film, not in the casting of the show.
Whew. Wow, okay.
Do you want the best director?
I'm glad Effie flagged the issue of diversity for all of us, because filmmaking should throw a broader net, and it's high time for that to change. But ultimately, if suddenly you change the rules of this competition at the 11th hour, it just seems like you would undermine what the competition was supposed to be about, which is about giving somebody this job based entirely on merit.
I'd happily watch Conor McGregor die. I can't wait to see Jose Aldo batter him. And the little pink wife beater's in. What is that? Look at that. What? That's not right. Squats, Neve. Squats. Katie Hopkins and Conor McGregor vying for the accolade of being the worst human being alive, I reckon. Who's Katie Hopkins? Say what you want to me, yeah? I'm bulletproof. And if you're in this game, you must be bulletproof. The lads. Go on, the lads. Fat virgins, every single one of them, yeah?
There's been a lot of buzz about this fake news. You were the subject of a fake news story.
Oh yeah, what'd they say? I was running for president? No, I voted.
No,
what'd they say?
You switched your support.
I switched, yeah.
What do you make of all the fake news and it affects
If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed. What is the long-term effect of too much information? One of the effects is the need to be first, not even to be true anymore. So what a responsibility you all have to tell the truth, not just to be first, but to tell the truth. We live in a society now where it's just first. Who cares? Get it out there. We don't care who it hurts. We don't care who we destroy. We don't care if it's true. Just say it, sell it. Anything you practice, you'll get good at, including BS.
Akin to what we saw from Donald Sterling, this team name.
I do, because it's one of those situations where, again, we're having to explain what racism toward Native Americans is. It's a slur, it's a dictionary-defined slur, so I don't know where the debate is, why it's
You don't see any distinction between what's in somebody's head and what's in somebody's heart? Do you think that the team owner of the Redskins is a racist man?
Oh, no, I'm not saying he's a racist man. So, no, it's something bad. It's empirically proven to affect the psychology of Native American kids. So we're not calling people bad. We're reminding people that this is a slur. And the reason we're having to remind people is because when it comes to Native Americans, things like Halloween and Thanksgiving and playing American Indian is fun. Now, with the web, we get to say, hey, we're here. We didn't die. Let's tell you that the Redskins is bad.
But, Ben, the problem, though, is that the most recent survey of Native Americans themselves, which was 2004, showed that something like 90% of them had no problem with the name, and 90% of the American people, or at least in all surveys, consistently in the high 70s, low 80s, and up to 90s, have no problem with this name.
Well, were those done on reservations?
The political games that are being played here.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, the political games that are being played here are absolutely ridiculous. The fact is that 49% of Native American kids were not graduating high school as of 2010. Only 3 were going on to college. Only 10% of those were graduating in 4 years. And the Senate is focused on the name of the Washington Redskins, as though that's the biggest problem facing the Native American community. The name of the Washington Redskins is about 100th on the list of issues facing Native American communities today. It's absolutely absurd. Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech. Certainly, the spirit of that law would suggest that senators should not spend their time sending letters to private organizations about how they... Plus, a lot of these senators happened to be present when President Obama was inaugurated in January of 2009. The person who gave that benediction, Reverend Joseph Lowry, uttered the line, "The red man should get a head man." I didn't see any of them complaining about it at the time. It's only now, when it's politically convenient, that they turn around to do this to distract from other issues.
In acting, there isn't job security, right? There's an incentive to work hard and be a better actor because you want to have a job. So why isn't it like that for teachers?
You think job insecurity is what makes me work hard? Take this MBA-style thinking, right? It's the problem with ed policy right now. There's this intrinsically paternalistic view of problems that are much more complex than that. It's like saying a teacher is going to get lazy when they have tenure. A teacher wants to teach. I mean, why else would you take a shitty salary and really long hours and do that job unless you really love to do it?
10% of teachers are bad.
Where'd you get that number?
I don't know. 10% of people in any profession maybe should think of something else. Right?
Well, okay, but I mean, maybe you're a shitty cameraman.